Die Menschen in Europa werden älter, im Schnitt. Das ist eine Tatsache. Die Frage ist nur, was folgt daraus? Wie geht man damit um? Und es gibt eine Frau, zu deren Aufgaben gehört es, sich genau mit dieser Frage zu beschäftigen. Dubravka Šuica ist Vizepräsidentin der EU-Kommission für Demokratie und Demografie. Und in dieser Funktion ist sie unter anderem dafür zuständig, Konzepte umzusetzen, wie man mit einer älteren Gesellschaft in Europa umgehen sollte. Ihre Eröffnungsrede zu diesem Thema hat sie uns als Video aufgezeichnet.
Dear Minister Giffey, dear President of Age Platform Europe and President of Bundesarbeitsgemeinschaft der Senioren, ladies and gentlemen, your event today is much needed given how, over the last months, COVID-19 has highlighted the place of the elderly in our society and their rights across our European Union. Today's event will help to deepen society's conversation not only on the protection of the elderly, but on their rights, including equal healthcare and digitalization. We must focus on making our healthcare and long-term care systems more resilient. We need to support the informal carers too. While it is important to address issues highlighted by the pandemic, we must also look at the medium to long term. This is what we intend to do in the upcoming Green Paper on Aging and secondly in our long-term vision for rural areas. Let me be clear from the beginning. Aging is a discussion for all generations and presents both challenges and opportunities. I cannot forget the stories from right across our union of families losing their elderly loved ones in care homes, not knowing if their family member was alone or frightened or at peace. And the care workers struggling to ensure the dignity of their elderly residents. I keep them at the forefront of my mind in our work. Older people's right to a life of dignity and independence is enshrined in Article 25 in the European Charter on Fundamental Rights. The pandemic hit the elderly particularly hard and stretched these rights to their limit. In institutional settings, the elderly were more vulnerable to infection and death, while protective measures sometimes exacerbated their isolation and loneliness. In the face of scarce resources, their right to equal healthcare was at risk. These are hard truths to face, but we must do it. Protecting the rights to life and health while simultaneously avoiding additional inequalities or exacerbating already difficult circumstances should remain our priority as we continue to battle this virus. Indeed, COVID-19 creates unprecedented challenges for our health, our economy, and our social well-being, and highlights the importance of addressing demographic challenges. First, the virus has not hit every member state in the same way. Secondly, it has not hit men and women in the same way. Thirdly, it has not hit the young and the elderly in the same way. This information is key for policymakers. In addition, we all know that Europe is going through profound transformation. Climate change and digitalization are key drivers. But this transformation is also driven by demographic change, and this will gain in prominence over the coming years. Therefore, a better understanding of a country's demographics is vital in our pursuit of efficient policy responses. Demographic change is about people and their lives. Addressing demographic change is key to building a fairer and more resilient society. I work with my colleagues commissioners to ensure that our policies take account of the impact of demographic change. To this end, the Commission adopted its first ever report on the impact of demographic change on 17 June. The report is an analysis that relies on hard evidence and comparable data at European Union and regional level. It brings out the major impacts of demographic change, such as on economic growth, labor markets, health and long-term care needs, and public finances. I invite you to look at this report and to visit our dedicated website. I see it evolving as a widely accessible repository of European Union demographic intelligence. One of the main findings of the demography report is that Europe is aging. Our Green Paper on Aging, which we will present in 2021, is therefore necessary. In addition, as highlighted in our demography report, people are living longer lives. These twin challenges demonstrate the need for a broad debate on how best to manage this good news, because it is good news. Over the last 50 years, life expectancy at birth has increased by 10 years for both men and women. Living longer in better health is one of the highest expectations of European citizens. This is a significant achievement. The aim of the Green Paper is to launch the debate around the long-term impacts of aging, care and pensions, active aging, and the capacity of social protection systems to deal with an aging population. We will look at intergenerational solidarity and fairness, impacts on the labor market, the economy and health and care systems. Let me be clear. Aging concerns all generations, not just the elderly. And it's not only a challenge, but comes with opportunities. Think about the silver economy, volunteering, innovative technologies, and services for better life quality. I want to dwell a few moments on active aging because it means growing older in good health. It means continuing as a full member of society and underpins elderly rights. It also means keeping healthy. It means volunteering, helping the family. It can mean grandparents looking after grandchildren when children are working. A beautiful example of intergenerational solidarity. Children are also our future, and we are preparing for a new comprehensive European strategy for the rights of the child, so we work on the full life cycle. Active aging also means participating in our democracy, for example, in local communities and municipal councils. As Vice President with responsibility for democracy and the Conference on the Future of Europe in particular, I look forward to hearing the voices of the elderly in our deliberations. Active aging also means being able to fully participate in society. Today, we inhabit a more digitalized world. Digitalization and technology helps older people in their autonomy and ability to connect with others. It also raises issues on the right to privacy. This calls for action in increasing digital literacy for older people. Digital tools must be accessible and easy to use for all ages. Those who are unable to use them should be provided with alternative ways of accessing essential services. In 2021, we will publish a long-term vision for rural areas designed to help rural Europe meet challenges such as depopulation, connectivity, economic development, and limited access to services. The public consultation for the long-term vision for rural areas is already online and available until the end of November. All stakeholders and citizens now have the opportunity to put forward their views. I take this opportunity to invite you to contribute. I want to hear from you. Many rural areas in Europe are facing major challenges. Families should not have to say goodbye to their young people who want to stay in their rural area. Depopulation, centralization of public services, low connectivity, access to healthcare and care services, all of this creates a gap in opportunities and living conditions between urban and rural areas. With the right support and the help of digital and green transformation, rural communities can act to make themselves attractive. Accessible public transport and next-generation broadband can increase a region's potential to offer people of all ages a place to live, work and play. Ladies and gentlemen, if we learn one lesson from the COVID-19 pandemic, let it be the importance of solidarity. Indeed, solidarity and fairness between generations must be one of the driving forces of Europe's recovery, as set out in the Commission's proposal for a major recovery plan, Repair and Prepare for the Next Generation. The European Commission proposed a clear, structured plan to lead us out of the crisis and into sustainable, long-term economic growth based on a green transition and a digital transformation. The recently announced comprehensive package for European recovery, with its overall budget of 1.85 trillion euros, will help Europe recover and supports multiple European sectors as we emerge from this period of constraint. Major initiatives like the Next Generation EU will boost the European budget in the first crucial years of the recovery and contribute together with the reinforced budget for 2021-2027 to making it sustainable, inclusive and fair. It is essentially a pact between generations calling for intergenerational solidarity. Together, we will exit the crisis. COVID-19 has left many of us without our grandparents, our elderly neighbors, without our living wisdom. As I said already, the need for solidarity should be the lesson of the pandemic. This includes intergenerational solidarity and fairness. It is about living full lives and enjoying rights. It is about adequate, sustainable pensions and the transfer of experience and knowledge. It is about mutual support. I am particularly grateful for the priority given to these important issues by the German presidency and look forward to having concrete input from the Council to complement the Commission's work in this regard. There are challenges and opportunities ahead. I look forward to working on them with all of you. Thank you.